I used to be a broke seventh grade teacher living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make it through the end of each month. But within a few years, I quit that job, started a business, and turned my annual teacher salary into a monthly income. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the advice I wish somebody gave me when I was broke and the four principles that completely transformed my financial life so you can use them to have your biggest financial breakthrough ever. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Will Cluis. I'm a two-time best-selling author, investor, and a mentor who helps coaches turn their story into impact and income. So make sure you hit that subscription button, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of these life-changing videos that I make for you. So there's a story in the Bible that paints a clear picture of what you should do when you're broke. And it's about the story of the woman with oil. So this woman is a widow. She has no income, no safety net, and her husband died and left her in debt. So the creditors are coming to take her sons as slaves to pay off the debt that she owes. And now she's desperate, right? She don't want to lose her sons. So she goes to the prophet Elisha and she says, "Help me. I don't have anything. They're about to take my sons. I need your help." But Elijah asks her one question. He says, "What do you have in your house?" And she says, "I have nothing except a small jar of oil." And Elisha tells that woman, "Go to your neighbors and get as many empty jars as you can. Then I want you to go in your house, shut the door, and pour that oil into those empty jars." So that woman did exactly what he said to do. And that small jar of oil that she had, it just kept pouring. It poured so much that she filled up all the empty jars that she had. And now she had enough oil to pay off all of her debts, save her sons, and live comfortably on. See, the miracle wasn't that God created something new for her. The miracle was that she already had everything that she needed sitting in her house, but she couldn't see it until someone else showed her what to do with it. See, that was my situation back then when I felt like I had nothing. I was broke as a teacher, thinking that I need some type of miracle to change my life. But just like her, I already had everything that I needed. I just couldn't see it at the time. See, my oil wasn't sitting in a jar on a shelf. My oil was my story. It was everything that I had been through, everything that I overcame, every lesson I learned from the pain and struggle that I went through. That was my oil. And I had a lifetime of all of that. You feel me? But I had been treating the oil that I had like it was worthless. See, most people think they need some type of special skill or degree or this perfect background in order to build wealth. But what if I told you your greatest asset might be the very thing that you're most ashamed of? Like, what if the struggles that you've been through and overcome is your actual strength? See, my breakthrough came when I realized I needed help seeing the things that I couldn't see on my own. Just like that widow needed Elisha, I needed somebody to show me the value of what I had already sitting in my house. So let's talk about discovering your oil. Your oil is not some mystical thing you need to search throughout the world for. It's already inside of you. You were born with it. So your oil could be your ability to help people heal through mental, emotional, and spiritual pain. Like you know how to listen, encourage, and inspire people to make it out of difficult times. That's your oil. Your oil could be leadership. Like you might be able to naturally organize chaos, create systems inside of organizations. That's your oil. You could be a creative. You can problem solve in innovative ways other people cannot imagine. That's oil. Like you could be great at communication. You can teach, speak, write, have massive breakthroughs with your word. All of these things are oil. For me, my oil was my story. I had overcome so many challenges and learned how to transform my own life. And I knew that there was people that needed to hear my story, needed to hear my message. But I was treating my story like it was a liability instead of an asset. So what's your story? What have you overcome? What naturally comes good to you that other people struggle with? That is your oil. So thing number two is once you discover what your oil is, you have to package it. So you can have the most valuable oil in the world, but if you don't package it the right way, nobody's going to buy it. Packaging your oil means taking your raw ability and presenting it in a way that people understand, desire, and will pay for. So if you're a healer, you can't just say, "I help people feel better." You need to package that into a specific program with specific results that you can deliver. If you're a leader, package that into consulting services, training programs, leadership development systems. If you're a creative, package that into design services, content creation, AI solutions for businesses. Like for me, packaging my oil meant taking my personal story of transformation and turning that into mentorship programs. So instead of just saying I help people overcome stuff, I got specific about the solution that I was providing and packaged that into a framework that I could sell in the market. So your packaging is your presentation. It's how you show up in the world through your website, social media, your content, your messaging, your programs and services. This is all your packaging. And it's how you take something that's internal inside of you and make it external so other people can benefit from it. See, the widow didn't keep her oil in the original jar. She transferred it into multiple different jars so she could sell it. And this is the part that makes most people uncomfortable. But here's what you need to understand. I need you to hear me, all right? If you don't sell your oil, you cannot help anybody and you'll stay broke. See, the widow didn't feel guilty about selling her oil. She knew what she had was valuable, and she knew that selling it was how she was going to provide for her family, pay off her debts, and also serve the people that bought it. They had use for the oil. So you have to get comfortable with the fact that your oil has value and your value needs to be exchanged for money. So when you help somebody solve a problem, transform their life, give them a solution that they wouldn't have got anywhere else, that is worth paying for. Selling your oil starts with believing in your oil. Like if you don't believe in what you have and that it's valuable, nobody else will either. And then you need to find the people that need your oil. So the widow didn't try to go and sell oil to people that already had it. She found people who had empty jars, who needed what she had. So your ideal customers are people who have the problem that your oil solves. You need to find these people and start creating content for them, sharing your story, being visible in places where they spend their time. And here's the key, like the price of your oil is based on the transformation that it provides, not your insecurity about what it's worth. Rewind that back and listen to it again, all right? That widow didn't sell her oil for cheap because she felt bad about her situation. She sold it for what it was worth, and it got her out of debt. But here's the most important part of that story that most people miss. They don't get this part. Without Elisha, that woman would have never realized the value of what she had already sitting in her house. She needed someone who could see what she couldn't see, who knew what she didn't know. And I was just like that woman back when I was broke as a teacher. I had the oil, my story, my experiences, my ability to help people, but I couldn't see it. I needed my own version of Elisha, and I found him on Facebook. His name is Steve. So he was a mentor who was teaching exactly what I needed to learn. And at that time, he was charging $297 a month for his mentorship program. And I couldn't afford it. Like, I did not have the money. I was already struggling to pay bills and taking out payday loans to survive. But something inside of me said, if he can show me what to do with what I already have, then I know I can do it. So I made the investment anyway. And that decision changed my life. That $297 a month investment gave me a return of multiple six figures a year for the past decade. And it's not because he gave me some secret information. It's because he saw my oil, taught me how to package it and sell it. So here's what you need to understand. You don't need to figure this out on your own. Somebody has already walked the path that you're trying to walk. And they can show you exactly what to do to avoid the pain, the heartaches, and the trauma. But you have to be willing to submit to the mentor so they can show you what to do. See, the widow had the oil in her house, but the mentor showed her how to take it, multiply it, and sell it to produce the result of saving her kids and paying off her debt. So if you want to transform your life, if you're in a place right now where your finances are not where you need them to be, you're praying and asking God for a miracle, if you apply what I shared with you, will help you break free. So I want to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway? Let me know in the comments. Like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And always remember, I love you.